All right, everyone, welcome to the Red Card Podcast with your hosts, me, Rowie, and Surya, my colleague,
What's up?
two Premier League fans from the States, here to talk about the match week fixtures. So, Surya, let's get started with your beloved Arsenal. I know that we had an unreleased episode last week that maybe we'll release in the future where I got to talk about the thumping of United at Old Trafford by my beloved Liverpool. But today, we have to start with your boys looking solid. Arteta turning the team around. What do you think, boy?
Hey fam, they killed it, not me in blood. but,
Shout out
but
my
yeah,
boy Troops.
honestly, you know, you asked me, I think, Rowie, this was 2 weeks ago, am I Arteta in or not? I was like, I'm 100% in. And week after week, I'm being proven right after again and again and again.
Were you
And
ever
I even said
out
Ole.
before? Were you ever
What?
out before?
I was never Arteta out, bro.
You were always in. You never
Look,
doubted him.
okay, so I, I guess I will reach on this topic when we talk about what's happening at Spurs. But first, I'll get some Arsenal out of the way. Honestly, I think the largest thing I saw from that was all the haters proved wrong, because the whole narrative has been going, oh, Spurs are the real test, and then we won. Aston Villa are the real test, and we won. And that's like, oh, Leicester are the real test for Arsenal this season away from home, and Arsenal won, right? So like at this point, all the haters are sort of just like I can't even hear them anymore. First of all, everyone hated on Aaron Ramsdale. They're like, oh, 35 mil for a second keeper. We already have Len. Fuck, do you need him for? Like that, bro. He's on the scene. He's gonna be challenging for number one in England. I'll tell you that. Second, we finally have, after like a year and a half at least, finally a stable starting 11. That always works, right? We have a back four that's completely new. Nuno, Gabriel, Ben, and Tomiyasu. Completely new midfield, solid as a rock, bro. Oh my god, I can't tell you how much I love this team right now. It's doing so well, and Ramsdale just gets better and better and better, man. Every person on that team is improving every week.
It is
And
fantastic to
props,
see.
props come go to Edu and Arteta. Everyone laughed at them in the summer, like, "Oh, you bought fucking Ben White. Who's this unknown Japanese guy from Bologna? Some unknown Nuno Tavares." And they're like, "Oh, okay, you got Sam Bilokanga and like captain, whatever." But like, nobody gave Arsenal any hope. Now, bro, now they're killing it. Now they've actually come into their own.
You're
This is
right.
now 9 games unbeaten in all competitions, and 7 games now unbeaten in a row in the Premier League.
Look, there was a lot of good points there. I'll say also, everybody was saying in the summer, give him his team, let him go into
Yeah,
the transfer market,
yeah.
complete his full squad. And also, my first note here, this is proving the point. You can't judge a manager by the first 3, 4 fixtures. You have to wait till that 10 fixture mark, and then you'll
And
really see where you land.
exactly, and the first ones were Brentford, which, as we've seen, for even like Liverpool, have been hard to play against.
Difficult.
Then Chelsea and
And it was
City,
their
and I mean,
first game in the Premier League. Let's not forget that. The circumstance.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like they're up for it, right? Like they're hyped to be here, and they have that energy. So I get it, right? So it's Brentford, and then of course City and Chelsea, who I don't think like anyone expects Arsenal to beat. So I'm not really surprised.
Champions of
After
Europe and
that,
champions of England. Yeah.
yeah, after Man City, everyone was crying on the Arsenal subreddit, like, oh my god, what are Edu and Mikel Arteta doing to this club? They got their heads up their ass or something, right? Now, again, like I said, all the haters are gone, man. You can't hear them anymore.
All the haters are gone, bro. Aaron Ramsdale, you gave him a shout out. Let's talk about this save. I mean, at the point of the match when he makes this save, it's pivotal to keep Arsenal in the position that they're in. And really, I think I saw, even though his son was playing in this same match, I think I saw a tweet from Peter Schmeichel saying, what a save, best save he's seen in a while. Fantastic save. What do you think about this man? You gave him a shout out before.
Bro, save of the season already. I don't care what happens next. Unless some goalie is shot mid game and still saves the ball, like this is save the season. And yeah, dude, like I don't think I'm exaggerating even a little bit to say that he looked like Adam reaching towards God. This is an accurate portrayal. As far as I'm concerned, that right there is a photo from the game.
A photo from the match,
This is,
exactly.
see, now you all on TV, you had not seen that because you weren't there. You're watching on TV. If you were there, you would have seen that. Like for like, man. There's no
Absolutely.
shopping in the world right there.
Absolutely. But Arsenal, I was really surprised to see they were really on the front foot the whole game. They were pinning Leicester back. Brendan Rodgers also, you can see, not able to keep some consistent form here after thrashing United. But, you can see ESR on the score sheet as well. Emil Smith-Rowe, so much energy.
Exactly.
And again,
Finally starting to
in-
score goals now.
again and again. And again, I have a note here: set pieces. Set pieces really win matches. That first goal, it breaks the deadlock. Sometimes you can't score from open play. You need that set piece, and so great way for Arsenal to go in front.
And in the past, Arsenal were trash at set pieces. So my roommate Adam, who's not into soccer at all, he knows that Arsenal suck at set pieces. He's watched enough Arsenal to know that already, right? And now like we're consistently scoring from set pieces. And Roy, like you were saying, right, about how Arsenal starts strong. I think in the past it's been always Arsenal come up in the second half, right? They play kind of a mellow game first half, and then they come through second half usually
Exactly.
after having conceded a goal, right? Where it's like the halftime talk is like, guys, come on, like what are you doing? We're losing, right? And then they come up. Now it's exactly opposite. We start the game super well, high energy, score like a goal or two, and then we maintain a little lower, but still high energy like throughout the game. And I think that's up to, I think, the manager, right? I mean, like he is able, like everyone is clearly
Let me find
on board with this message. You see Aubameyang running around, chasing down balls very easily, right? Like he's doing all the things he needs to do, and every player sort of bought into the manager. Yeah, bro. Honestly, like it's amazing. Like I'm so on his side. I completely support this team and the manager. I think all the haters just have to stop talking.
Arteta, the fraud, redemption arc in progress.
Bro, he is the baldest.
The baldest of the bald. Now, if we can, let's take a jaunt over to my boys Liverpool. Give a brief mention. Disappointing result, I have to say. 2-2 draw to Brighton again, dropping points at home. I will say we improved on our result last season. They did beat us in this fixture. So at least you can say we're positive on that. And actually, it's one of my favorite kinds of graphs on our subreddit is that Excel sheet to kind of see the progress based on the same fixture in the last season. So we're pretty good in that respect. But disappointing result, I have to say. I mean, you could see our game plan was to try to win the game early, to preserve as many players as we could for the Champions League match. And, what a finish from Hendo to start it off. I thought we were going to get off and rolling again. Keita had to come off. Oxlade-Chamberlain gets the cross in for the, graphic we're seeing here of Mane getting his finish. But then, we just let them back in. It had feelings. I've only ever been to 2 matches at Anfield. And it felt like the match I saw against West Ham. We got the first goal that early, and then that second to pile on, and you felt, this is gonna be 5 or 6 here, cricket score.
It's already done, yeah, exactly.
And then one goal gets them back in the match, and they come with a resilient second half performance to level the draw, and that's exactly what happened here with Brighton.
I will say, I was slightly hoping it would happen, but after Arsenal played Brighton, and how well they played, they held Arsenal to a 0-0 draw. I wasn't surprised, to be honest, that Brighton came back in this game, or at least were hard to play against, because they've been pretty good this whole season. I mean, I think they were above Arsenal just until this past week.
Absolutely.
And
Graham Potter has played them, progressive football. They're on the front foot. They're trying to attack. And, Mwepo, you got to give him credit. A little bit of a freak goal. Yeah. But they were putting on the pressure, for sure.
And the change from the same team last season to now is, radical.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Adam Lallana, give him a shout out. He got a standing ovation at Anfield. Certainly proud that he
Hi.
could get that. And you know, they
Why did
definitely
he get that?
say again.
Why did he receive a standing ovation?
He's been a good servant for the club. What do you think?
I
He
mean,
was
he's already
involved
left,
in the,
bro.
of course,
If I
but
was there, bro, I'd start saying boo. I'd start
oh come
calling him a
on, you have to
loser.
show respect to your former players.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
In any case, the Salah scoring streak is over. Trossard and Lamptey, I got to give them some shout out. They were very bright throughout the match. And overall, a fantastic effort from them to hold us to a draw. And hopefully we can get back to winning ways next week. Now, on to one of my favorite Invincibles, Vieira, and his boys for Palace, who show up to the emptyhad and rock away with 3 points, showed them
Bro,
the way to go
unreal.
home.
Unbelievable.
What do you think about this match? What I mean, first of all, Zaha with his early goal. Let's give him some props.
Yo, I gotta say, now that he is back in the team, given how well they were already playing, now that they have like a really solid attacker to actually score the goals, right? Because all their last games were just draw, because they were never able to hold on to a substantial lead or outscore their opponent. But now that they have Zaha, it'll all change. Like I'm so sold on this team because in a matter of what, since August, September, October, 3 months.
You're right.
I mean,
Look at that form right there.
compared to last season's team, is completely
Four
changed. Right? If you look
draws.
at their form, look how many draws they have. Unbelievable.
Look at that.
And honestly, with Man City again, like I think like everyone you'll see on TV is probably also saying this, that right, like their main lack is like an out and out goal scorer, like a
That's right.
forward or striker,
Harry Kane.
right? And like
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, man, and I love how salty Pep was in the summer. He's like, oh, we tried to talk about it, but the transfer genius Daniel Levy, who knows everything, it said no or something. I just love that comment.
Oh my God.
But
Well,
yeah,
you know what? We'll talk about them in a bit, but that certainly is a big hole in in the city side, and you never you see Gabriel Jesus
yeah,
with flashes here and there. I guess they have Ferran Torres, but he's not quite the same kind of prolific striker
yeah,
that Aguero was. And yeah, they really held at bay. I guess there is a goal disallowed for
yeah,
Phil Foden, inches for that pass that he receives before the goal is
yeah,
scored, the equalizer. If that goes in or if on a different day or if VAR is not a thing, where it might be a different story. But
yeah.
still, and
But I think,
yeah,
although I think honestly, it's a problem that his teams have had for a long time. Right, like for even just that Man City, it's a problem for a long time because so many games. If you have a well organized, compact defense, right, like all they do is pass in like that half circle around the goal, and that's it, right? Like they don't have, they can't have crosses because they don't have anyone on their team who's tall enough to meet it. They can't do passes in behind because they press so hard that the other team is so compact that there's no space to make passes. They just keep passing around the circle, and then they turn over the ball in the end, right? So like honestly, I'm just surprised they haven't signed anybody, to be a striker, like even as an option B to Gabriel Jesus. I mean, I know they tried with Kane, but you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Although I guess like you don't think anyone will turn down 120 million for a player, but Daniel Levy.
and Daniel Levy, and we'll talk about them in a bit, but it's. Yeah, I mean I don't know really who the other options were. I thought Erling Haaland was nailed on for the
Yes,
for the
yeah,
role. I guess I thought
easy
his
money.
father played for Man City, so there was a connection there, and maybe he was a
What?
fan when he was young.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll have you fact check me on that. But I thought that was nailed on. I mean, he's much higher ceiling than Harry Kane. I guess maybe he's not Premier League proven, but he's prolific in the Bundesliga.
I mean, he's scoring so many goals. Yeah,
Yeah, so there are other options there, and you expect the club with the might of Man City to be able to trigger any release clause or
yeah,
work some deal
exactly.
out or have some swap deal. But I think they won the league last season with no Aguero, and they basically said we can hedge our bets again, and probably really with bottom line, Pep wants the Champions League, my friend. Pep needs
Although,
that
yeah,
trophy. That is his focus. If anything that he's really gonna try to get. And
yeah,
I guess, do you really need a striker to, to keep you a consistent? You were you need to win the
mm,
Prem. You need a 20, 25, 30 goal season striker to really put you on the top of the league.
yeah.
Not really. If you get match winners, then you win the right matches, and you don't make some freak tactical decision that throws the match, like Pep seems to do every season in the Champions League.
It's
Uh,
true. Although I think this is something I heard also. I think either on Sky Sports or something. But one comment I think is true is that among the top three, right, among Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, they both have really solid defenses, right? Like they don't concede a lot of goals, and
mm,
so the way this league is going to be won is in scoring goals,
mm,
and that is the place where Man City are like, right? Like I mean, if you saw Chelsea play, their Lukaku and Timo Werner are out, right? They're both out injured, so
mm.
and they're still scoring goals, right? So like they have.
That's right.
That's why I think Chelsea are still title favorite, just because they can
Absolutely.
outscore the other teams.
Absolutely, and thank you for that perfect segue. I'll give one last shout out to the finish from Gallagher right at the end, right off the post. A fantastic finish, but great
Oh
segue
yeah,
to my title favorites as well, Chelsea. What did you think of that match? Again, like you're saying, finishing off their opponents there, and I guess Newcastle, pretty low on the table, and again reminding us that they are in a relegation scrap. Not that they were expecting any points from
yeah.
this match, but they are going to struggle to get points on the board.
I will say shout out to the Chelsea Academy for giving for giving Crystal Palace Conor Gallagher and their starting center back. Even though it's a loan, still props to Chelsea for like having awesome talent. But as far as this game goes, I think I mean like it's just being proven time and time again, right? Regardless of who's injured, they have such a strong bench at Chelsea, right? I think I don't see any other bench in the league being as good as Chelsea's.
Ross
And I
Barkley,
think
Aspilicueta,
right,
Alonso, pretty
like I
strong.
mean, like awesome players, right? Like I would say certainly great players. And so even without Romelu Lukaku, they're still a huge attacking threat. I mean, of course, it was like it's a team that's not doing well, right? So they're in a relegation fight, so fine, I understand, right? It's easier, but I think
Yeah, and this is missing a
Chelsea
few
just have it
players.
in every department.
Yeah, I mean, and I think for me, Chelsea, it's the mentality. When you look at Chelsea,
Yeah,
they are ruthless,
yeah,
and it's shades of what we saw in Liverpool when they won the Champions League, and the next season after that, they took that momentum
hmm,
and they turned it into a dominant performance. Right? They kind of just picked up where
hmm,
they left off in the Champions League
yeah,
final, and just took it through the entire season. And look, this Chelsea side frightened me. And Tuchel has them well drilled. He's got goals from every part of the pitch. I think the graphic I have here is Reece James, if I can find him. Oh, let's see. Do I even have him? Let's see. Yes, there he is. And
bro,
Reece
this guy
James,
is so good.
he's fantastic. The stat
The
here,
goals, man, the goals. Oh my
he's been
God, he's
involved in
so good.
more goals in all competitions than any other Chelsea player this season, scoring 4 and assisting 3.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic. I mean, and again, shades of that Liverpool side. You
Yeah,
have to get goals from everywhere, and in that season, you had the
yeah,
fullbacks producing, and here you've got Chilwell and Reece James in this side who really are, providing that, and of course some goals from the center backs here and there in set pieces. But yeah, title favorites for me for sure. Disappointingly so.
like yeah, like everyone talks about that this league is all about having now having good fullbacks, right? And so everyone talks about um Andy Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I think Reece James is 100% up there, like in the top five at least in the league for fullbacks.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a good one. Absolutely. Yeah, and he gives Trent a run for his money in the England side, that's for sure. And I'm
100%.
happy for that too. I think that's the conversation for another day. But the England side is certainly stacked in that department.
They really are.
And Wan-Bissaka as well.
Soon it'll be ESR. Emil Smith-Rowe will be starting. Saka will be a regular starter.
That's right.
And Ramsdale will
That's right.
dethrone Jordan Pickford.
That's right. Oh, Aaron Ramsdale. He will be in England #1. I agree with that.
And we also got Ben White, who will also take over at some point. So that'll be 4 England starters in that Arsenal team. Yes, bro.
Absolutely.
That's the dream. That's the promised land right there.
Absolutely. Now, my friend, let's transition to the game of the week. I've been itching to talk about this one, especially because of the breaking news that we got right before we started recording. And that is El Sakiko. Spurs against the recently downtrodden Manchester United. I think it was in London, I think. Right? What do you think, bro?
He was in London, yeah.
What do you think?
It was that Spurs museum. I thought, I can't imagine any of the fans for either team went home that day happy. Spurs, of course, they saw another catastrophic performance.
Of course.
And United saw the players once again save the manager when really he should be fired. If I was
so you're only out.
If I was Sir Alex Ferguson in the stands, I'd be making that same exasperated face again because I know it means he's not going to get fired.
Oh, last week. Oh, should I go find it real quick?
But yeah, for real, man, I wouldn't be happy if I'm United. Okay, you beat a really shit Spurs team, right? Like that's not like. It's a meme, lads. It's Spurs, right? I mean, it really is. Let's be real. They're playing like dog shit.
I mean, they're all over the place, and as we saw, their manager was sacked. And I guess they haven't looked convincing at all. I mean,
zero shots on target at home.
0 shots on target at home, and we talked about Arsenal and how they started the season so poorly. Everyone was judging them.
Yeah.
Everyone was judging Nuno in a positive way. Everybody was seeing those 1-0 wins and saying, and I guess, the style of football wasn't convincing, but at least the results were there, and now you can see how it basically fell apart in the fullness of this first part of the season.
Look, each team's true colors came out. Spurs got found out for the shit they are. Arsenal got found out for how good they are. Right. We all think, Mikel, whatever, is like...
So North London is red, is what you're saying.
Is Pep. But let's not forget that Nuno was bald, right? So
that's right.
Most likely a fraud.
That's right.
No, I like him a lot. Look, I think the problems in Spurs goes way beyond just the manager.
That's right.
Like, it goes to Daniel Levy, man. They have a team of old players who've been there forever and not done anything.
Leftovers from Pochettino. You're right.
Eric Dyer is still there, bro. What the fuck does he do that's like world class? Nothing. He's been there for so long. Trash, bro. Like they need a squad overhaul. If you just sold Harry Kane, now Harry Kane
that
on
is
the
it.
Field.
And who's gonna pay 120 million next summer for him?
Bro, Antonio Conte is gonna come in. He's gonna resign next month.
You think so?
No. He will spend.
He's gonna turn this around.
He will spend one winter transfer window with Daniel Levy and resign.
So you just brought it up. Let's quickly skip over to that. So first off, it's called El Sakiko. We were speculating before the match whether Ole or Nuno.
Hey, is it called El Sakiko because the game sucked so much?
Well, in any case, we were speculating whether Nuno would be sacked. We learned earlier today that Nuno was sacked, and then right before we started recording, Antonio Conte, reported by Fabrizio Romano, as we like to think is a reliable source, Antonio Conte to Tottenham confirmed. The contract will be until June 2023 and will be signed on Tuesday. The verbal agreement is now complete. He is back in the Premier League. Fabio Paratici, I think, wanted him to sign in June, and I think he worked with him in Juve, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
In any case, I think I had heard in some of the coverage that it was a working relationship, as is with most organizations. That's kind of how these things work. I think some people might say that United are kicking themselves for not sacking Ole and getting Conte. But this, I think, is a good move. I hadn't had much time to absorb it because it really happened right before we hit record. But I think this is the right kind of manager. If anything, you saw the same kind of idea with Mourinho. Get somebody who knows how to win a trophy, who might play a little bit more pragmatic style, but will get something out of this talismanic striker you have in Harry Kane, one of the generational English striking talents. And Conte, I think, has proved in his last stint at Chelsea, at the very least. Obviously, everybody's going to get sacked from Chelsea. But he proved that he can win trophies. He can set up a good side in his time. I think he went back to Juve. Also proved that he can set up a good side. And now he's got, I think you're right. He's going to need a squad overhaul. But I think he'll be given, the winter transfer window. And he'll be given the summer. He won't sell Harry Kane. But he might offload some people and then get one or two more talent in the side. I think he can leverage it. He can.
I don't know, man. I think they have to sell Harry Kane because I don't think Conte can do anything to all of a sudden snap Harry Kane back into life. Well, this guy is a zombie out there, just goes around sulking and crying because he's not in Man City. And I get it.
June 2023 though. June 23. Let's just for 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
If they sell him, they're not gonna sell him in January. If they sell him in the summer, it's gonna be summer 2022, June 2022, basically end of the season. He only has 1 year left on his contract. You think Antonio Conte is going to stay, is he going to sign a renewal? If he sells Harry Kane, knowing that he has to now invest the whole season in investing? I mean, I think this is the main piece of his squad. Is he really going to rebuild? Who does he have without Harry Kane? He has Heung-min Son? Who does he have?
Look, I will say, right, I think Harry Kane playing like shit, being on the team, is actively hurting that team, right? Like you saw when Harry Kane was not playing, when they played against City, right?
Spurs.
Without Harry Kane, they looked fantastic. They were quick, they were on the counterattack, they were sharp, right? They were in the right spots, they were finding passes. I think the manager right now who comes in needs to, put Harry Kane on the bench for a game or two and see how the team plays without him. Because I think they played great without him. And then he came back and then it all went downhill. Right? Having somebody like that on your team who just occupying space, right, is actively hurting your team. At least, without him, someone else will run, will be sharp, active, lively, right? I think Antonio Conte, if he joins, should have Harry Kane on the bench at least for a game or two.
But surely now, on the same token, Antonio Conte coming in will give Harry Kane impetus to perform.
No, but I'll also tell you why. Because Harry Kane knows as well as we do, right? Like if they don't sell him, where's Levy gonna find his cash from, dude? They have a huge new stadium that they paid for. They don't have any money aside from cash they can earn from selling Harry Kane. Arsenal were in the same spot, when they had the Emirates, but they had a good manager who could keep us in the top four, right? Spurs don't have that, and they have aging players, and they don't have any cash that can be used to overhaul a squad unless they sell Harry Kane, right? So I think that's the only way out right now, right? Like either you say, okay, I'm gonna have Antonio Conte here for a year and a half. He's gonna do some job to just have us be sort of top six, and then we'll start the overhaul process. But then it's too late. Right, like then he's gonna leave, and you have to go around and scramble to find a new manager again.
That's why I think, if you ask me, that's why I think Antonio Conte looks at the situation. He says, "Look, I have Pochettino's squad basically. I have, on paper, talented players that have, let's be real, not been managed in a way. Mourinho was past his prime.
No, dude. Like I think." He doesn't have Pochettino's team. Pochettino had that team a few years ago when they were actually good, right? When those players were
but he still has a core that he can work with, is what I'm saying. He can try to win he can try to put them in a European position and then try to win something. Go into a League Cup or an FA Cup. Try to put them in a position where they learn what it is to win, and then next season come in. And I guess you're right. Maybe he does sell him in the summer and he does some rebuild around maybe Heung-min Son. Maybe gets a new striker in with the money as one of the replacements. But who are you really gonna get? I mean, look, I don't think Antonio Conte would have signed this contract for this short amount of time if he wasn't gonna consider trying to win something. And there's no way that he's gonna do a whole rebuild project. No way, unless he really sees something throughout the season where we see an extension and he goes in for it, and we see the opposite of what happened to Chelsea with Abramovich, who sacks everybody, and they actually want him to be the person of the next 3, 4, 5 years to put them back in contention for the top 4.
Yeah, but see, I have the opposite view. I think he signed a short-term contract specifically because he knows he doesn't want to get locked into a Spurs, shithole team, I mean,
Oh God,
imagine
bro.
he arrives there and it turns out Daniel Levy is not going to do an overhaul of any kind. He's not going to be like, oh shit, I got 4 more years of this garbage. You know what I mean? He can leave, at the end of next season, right? Look, if Harry
It is a
Kane
paycheck to
can't-
do. It is.
if Harry Kane can't wipe the goddamn tears out of his eyes by wintertime, go sell him.
Oh,
He
Harry
started to-
Kane. Yeah, the
He's got to
mentality
grow
is
up
pulling
and
the
get
team
over
down.
it. Look, I understand how he feels, right? Like, if I had career aspirations that were sort of denied when I had an agreement, I'd be salty as hell. I would stew about it for a long time. But at some point, you just gotta get over it, bro. Like you can't say, okay, I didn't have this, and I'm gonna fucking jump my career off a cliff and just end it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my final word on Harry Kane, honestly, and then we
Stop
should
crying.
talk a bit about United and their performance. That a good spell that got them in the game and a good way to finish them off. But my final word on Harry Kane is that you can't take a gentleman's agreement, man. You're naive if you think that especially with a person like Daniel Levy, you cannot expect that to ever yield any results. You needed to have a better agent, write better terms in your contract, and get some release clause, or and unfortunately, now you're stuck in a position, and now, like you're saying, you got to get over it. And what's interesting to me is I think Newcastle have to go and grab him. The price tag is going to stay this high, and I don't think Man City are going to come in with an improved
That
bid.
grab who?
Harry Kane, bro.
Wait, you're saying Newcastle?
Bro, I think that the only reason I say that is because I think Harry Kane is a price tag. The issue with Harry Kane is the price tag. And nobody can pay this price tag other than City or PSG or now Newcastle United. So do you really think that Pep is going to go in for him next season for 120 mil? Or do you really think that Newcastle, who has the money to spend, will pay the overpriced, inflated price that Daniel Levy will keep? Come on.
You think Newcastle comes knocking, Harry Kane's going to say, oh, I want to leave this shithole team to win trophies. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to that team that came in 17th place last season.
That's right. That's
my golden ticket to the FA Cup.
But that's why I say. So now Conte's coming in. This is his final chance. 2 seasons with Conte. Get me an FA Cup. Get me challenging for the Prem 1 season, and I mean, where else will he go? I do not think Man City will come back for him, and I don't think he has any chance. I mean, maybe he'll go to Spain or to. I mean, who? Well, I mean, no. I guess Barca and Real probably are not in the financial situation. PSG, where will he go? Who's gonna pay that fee?
I think the problem is Harry Kane's brother is his manager, right? Now, if he had somebody experienced soccer manager, right? That person would have seen their gentleman's agreement. He would have taken a look at Daniel Levy, seen that he's bald, and conclude that this
Fraud.
agreement is a fraud.
This is a fraud.
100%.
Shout out to
Wait, does he
Hughesy,
wear?
my boy
Does
Hughesy.
wait? Does Daniel Levy have glasses? Does he wear glasses?
No, he does not.
Oh, I was gonna say because count them, bro. Count them. You want 2 eyes, not 4.
Hey, Jurgen, I guess he is wearing. I think I don't know if he has late circuit contacts, but he's
See,
not.
bro? All I have to say is, bro, who do you want? You want, Daniel Levy with 4 eyes, or you want Pep with 2 eyes? No, actually though. But dude, like, I was so shocked to find out the Hurricane is managed by his brother, right? I just think you don't want to involve like your personal,
Yeah.
relationship into your business relationship, especially in such a high stakes field as like, being an athlete.
Yeah, you
I can't support
definitely
that.
feel for him because there's probably an element of trust there.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of predatory agents out there for sure.
Absolutely. But now you can see the consequences. In any case, let's talk quickly about United. First of all, I just want to talk for a moment about Cristiano Ronaldo bailing out Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We haven't even talked about that angle. He was the other manager who was supposed to be sacked, and I guess most of us are rejoicing. Ole's at the wheel.
My condolences go out to Manchester United fans.
Ole
I know
stays.
that you really hope that a good sacking would revive the club, but it's still dead.
It is still
I'm
dead.
sorry about that.
But Cristiano Ronaldo, his finish, I don't know if you saw, what a finish on the
What
volley
about
across the
going-
keeper. And it was at a point of the match where United were growing in their pressure. They had a great spell, put a lot of pressure on the Spurs backline. And then,
Yeah.
of course, Cristiano creates the next goal for Cavani as well. The off balance still gets the pass to go through. Great attacking move from United, and
Yeah.
Cavani gets the second finish. And then Rashford, one of my, as much as he's a United player, one of my favorite non-Liverpool players, for his work off the pitch, getting a nice finish, back to goal scoring form, I guess, even though he's not featuring in the starting lineup, if I'm not mistaken. Marcus.
It's gotta be so like frustrating as like as a United fan, right? Like you kind of want to hope that the players, they don't turn up. You kind of just it's like in Spurs, right? If all of a sudden if Nuno won this game, Spurs fans would be like, "Ugh, another game with Nuno." I mean, and the fans of United have to be thinking, "God damn, what do we do to deserve this win?" Well, why can't we just sack this guy? I don't know, man. Ole, I think doesn't have it, man. Doesn't have it. He's done. He needs to get out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, look, they did set up in a new system. Varane was back inside, so you can make some cases for Ole not having the tools against Liverpool last week. But to me, it is a mentality thing. It was one of the things I didn't really see in the Arsenal squad, but I guess it did take a few matches for Arteta to bed that message in with his squad, and I really think he. Aubameyang stepped it up in a couple of the performances, but I think he really needed to take control. He doesn't really have many leaders on the pitch, so he really probably instilled some, people like Ramsdale, for example, who are screaming and who are big voices.
I, according to my sources, I actually heard this over the weekend that prior to El Sacco, Ole actually considered shaving his head and going bald in an attempt to keep his job. That's what I heard. Now I don't know who this
Fabrizio Romano, yeah.
But according to my sources, Conte's already signed his contract, and Ole planned on going bald.
Oh man.
Thank God he didn't, because then he'd be labeled the bald fraud if he lost.
Well, in any case, yes, Ole. I went to a diatribe on Arteta, but Ole shows that he does not have the what it takes to really foster that mentality. I mean, when you capitulate like you did against Leicester and against Liverpool, even a win like this is, I think, it's more that Spurs were shit
Mhm.
than United were
Yeah,
great. And
yeah,
again, the broken deadlock was pretty much Ronaldo with those two
yeah.
goals, the assist and the
And
and the
even
finish.
more of an evidence towards how shit Ole is, right? Look, but they brought Jadon Sancho. Saw that ad? He's like, oh, they call me 007 because I have 0 goals, 0 assists, and in 7 appearances, right? And he's wearing that James Bond tux. Dude, like, come on. This guy bought Jadon Sancho, playing like trash, isn't even playing. Donny Van de Beek, playing like trash, isn't even playing, right? Like, these players they're buying are not improving. They're still starting fucking Fred, bro, after so many transfer windows. It's still Fred playing. Like, Fred and Nemanja Matic. It's still them playing. Like, how many transfer windows have gone by? They've bought players, but they're still stuck in the past with those shit players because they're not developing players they're getting. They can't. He doesn't know how to like make it work, and that's, I mean, right? Like, I don't see them challenging for a title with Ole as manager, right? Like, how many players do you have to buy? You have Pogba on your team. You bought Varane. You have Cristiano Ronaldo on your team. I mean, come on, right? Like, at some point,
Yeah.
you have to start
And looking at
turning
their
up. You
form, I
have to
mean,
start showing results.
you're right. I
Either
mean, look at this
either
form.
either nut up or shut up, bro.
Absolutely woeful form in the last five
Bro,
matches.
shambles, bro, shambolic.
Really shambolic. But you can see, yeah, they're even behind West Ham at this point, who we'll talk about in a moment. I want to maybe just get some of the smaller fixtures out of the way. If you have anything to say about them, Burnley and Southampton both getting wins. Norwich and Leeds, I think Leeds got the victory there.
I was just surprised that Burnley beat beat Brentford 3-1.
Oh yes, Burnley and
I didn't see
Brentford.
that coming.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes, yes.
Burnley are also playing like season, but somehow they were able to win 3-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be honest, I didn't watch the match, just the highlights. But you saw good finishes from Burnley, and I think it wasn't Turf Moor, so they had that home field advantage. And then not an easy place to go. Obviously, Brentford, had some of their great results at their home ground. Uh, but yeah, some good results
Yeah.
in there. Marcelo Bielsa getting his victory. Norwich, I mean, they cannot catch a break. Where are they sitting in the table? I think they're
Norwich, oh, bro, you don't even want to look at it.
I think they're
It'll make you
they're
weep.
rock bottom,
Daniel,
and they still have only scored 2 goals all season. Wow, this is utterly disastrous. Obviously, only 2 draws that given their lowly 2 points, and surely they're gone from the Prem.
definitely. Like, there's no doubt about it. I don't know what's happening with them.
Newcastle as well. They are still stuck on 4 points.
Actually, no. But I'd be interested in seeing, Roy, is who's the top right now of the championship? Who's gonna come up next season? I wonder.
Oh, would you like to see the championship?
Anyone that we know, like any team that used to be in probably, right?
Let's see. And shout out to the League of 72 out there. James Lawrence Alcott is a regular host on that channel. It's you know,
That's
the
who's
game
top right now.
the game being gone right now. Well, it looks like it's Bournemouth, and I'll
Okay.
get the page for the EFL just so we can kind of see it with everything. We'll accept there. All right, Bournemouth and Fulham. Yeah, I mean, so some good sides, and yeah,
West
as far
Brom,
as I've
though.
seen in the coverage, it's hard to beat Bournemouth and Fulham in the season.
I know, like, yeah, in not last season, but the season prior in the league, they were really good. Like, they were hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. I
I'm glad
mean,
they're coming back. I'm
even
glad they're
West
coming back.
Brom, they're a good performer. I mean, there's some difficult to beat Premier League sides, former Premier League sides. I mean, yo-yo
I'll be
clubs really.
honest, as an Arsenal fan, when I see West Brom, I think easy win.
I mean, there are some eras of Pulis, and there were
Yeah,
certainly
yeah, yeah, yeah.
moments where it
Quote
was
unquote
not a
history.
fun fixture, not a
Yeah.
fun fixture, especially for us. I remember a couple of bad ones, But now that we're done with the smaller fixtures, let's give a final shout out to West Ham and Declan Rice. I know you had a couple of graphics here or a couple of stats here, and you wanted to give him a shout out.
And I will. This is this is if I can take a moment here to say I told you so to a lot of people. So last season, last summer when we bought Thomas Party, right? I was saying on this subreddit, I think we should buy Rice. I think we should buy Declan Rice. Everything said that this guy is on the path right now to becoming world class. He is so good. Like it's like I mean, you can see West Ham now fourth in the league, and I think in no small part thanks to him. And like I still think Arsenal should have signed him. I think he would have been, had Xhaka left for Roma or whatever or wherever, he would have been a great replacement and much better. I think an upgrade on Xhaka. But yeah, I mean, he's been incredible. I think he is.
Yeah, what's the stat
He should at
here?
some point, I think, probably move up to like a more top six-ish teams kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
like sure, West Ham are in fourth, and that's great. But I think at some point he'll have to move up to like Manchester City, United's, Arsenal maybe,
Absolutely.
Liverpool's, right? I think he's of that quality, and we're seeing it now every
And
single
hey,
game.
hey, before he gets there, you gotta give some credit to West Ham. They could be finishing in a European spot, but I
If
absolutely
they
agree
get
with you.
Champions League, next season, I'll be so impressed.
Yeah, but I want to give a shout out to the stat that you brought up for us here.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I mean, just putting into perspective what you're saying about Declan Rice, the only player in the Premier League with double digits in all these, categories: clearances, tackles made, interceptions, aerial duels won, chances created, take-ons. I mean, this kid
And he
is
intercepts so well.
absolutely. He's all over the pitch. I mean, he really shows so much energy. When you see him, in some of the matches I've seen this season of West Ham, he really provides, and you see him with the captain armband here. He really provides that energy, and I think he took a lot of confidence from his performances in the summer with England, and brought it forward.
Yeah,
And you can see with a good, football genius David Moyes at the wheel. You
genius.
football
Damn.
genius. If you remember, shout out to the David Moyes of the past and at United after Fergie left. But yeah, that's a fantastic win for West Ham. I think it was a bit of a capitulation right at the end to accentuate that scoreline to make it 4-1. But really, Villa couldn't get much after that one Watkins equalizer, if I remember
And
correctly.
what's amazing about Declan Rice is that his game is like, I saw some highlights of his of last game and the game from last week as well. And right, his play is super simple, right? Like he's not holding onto the ball for too long. He's so calm on the ball. He intercepts so well that like you almost know that he's not gonna lose the ball. He's not gonna he'll find you. Like even if it is just horizontal, right? Like his play is so clean to watch. Like you think it's he's not even trying. It looks so good.
Yeah,
Again, man, I wish Arsenal had him.
it might be possible if they push into a space where I think was he a target for Chelsea if I'm not mistaken. So he might
Probably.
end up there. The Mason Mount connection,
Yeah.
the London connection.
I would say
So
if West Ham can secure a Champions League spot, I think they will cement themselves in top six,
you think
and
so?
Spurs and Spurs will drop out of the top
You
six.
think so?
The big six.
I think
Big six.
Conte will give them a run for their money.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I think so. But in any case, let's wrap this up by giving us some predictions on next week's fixtures.
Oh
We
yeah.
will have an international break in the week after that. But let's take a look here, Syria. What do we think here? Obviously, I guess Friday night football, a smaller match. Any prediction here on Villa and Southampton?
I think Aston Villa all the way. I'm so convinced.
Aston
I
Villa,
see
huh?
it.
Strong
Look,
side.
I think a problem is that they against Arsenal, right? Like they didn't they the game began quite slowly. So I think they'll probably if I had to say a score for that game, I would say Aston Villa win probably 2-1. Yeah.
2-1. Yeah, I mean Southampton, they've been able to get on the board in the last couple of weeks. I think I would go 3-1 Villa. I think
3-1. Okay.
they'll come back strong. Oh, I'm excited. So let's get to Saturday. I mean, let's save the prediction of the big one for the end. Although I'm quite excited for the Manchester Derby. What do you
Although I will
think?
say, I think it's safe to call that game El Sacico as well, because there's a high chance of it ending in the sacking.
Well, I think we know it's not gonna end in Pep sacking. That's for sure. But definitely Ole is under pressure. I mean, okay, maybe we'll start there. What do you think? Who's gonna? We can see it's at Old Trafford. You know, the last game at Old Trafford, they got thumped 5-0 by Liverpool. What do you think? A thumping
I
again,
think
obviously. I think it's gonna be
I think at
City
the end
again.
of the game there'll be one fraud, and I'll tell you right now, he won't be bald.
And it won't be bold.
It's
Ole,
gonna be Ole, bro. I'm
Ole's at the
seeing,
wheel.
okay. The only thing I think City have against them is that they can't score, but United can't defend. So
You know what? I think you're
it's all
right.
right.
I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be a thrashing. But you know what? I think they might set up with that three at the back, like they did against Spurs.
Yeah,
And
and they
if
play
Ronaldo gets a
counter-attacking.
goal,
Yeah,
and even against Liverpool, there was that chance for Bruno Fernandes that everyone was like, oh, if he scores that, it changes the game.
exactly.
So they've got game winners there. They can easily, you know what? I think 2-all draw. Let's go
I
best case
think,
scenario for
and
us.
also because because United now kind of play right. Their main style play is counter-attacking, and
Mm,
Pep will be passing in that circle, trying to find an opportunity
that's right.
that that his backup will be so far up that the counterattack is going to destroy them.
That's right. So
So I
what's your prediction?
if if United don't lose this game, bro, like how can they keep getting away with it,
I
bro?
mean,
It is
look,
highway robbery, bro.
Ole is good. You have
Bro,
to give
he's
him
not.
something.
He's
You'd have to
not,
give
bro.
you'd
He's
have to give
not,
him in that scenario. You'd have to give him credit. But I
bro.
agree, he's not. He doesn't have the chops.
The United fans are being robbed, bro. This is highway robbery in front of their eyes, and they're just going along with it because, oh, I don't know where he beats Man City, bro. Jesus Christ.
I think
5-0
I've
to
heard a
third.
lot more Ole outs. I've for sure. But
If I was a United fan, I would hang a giant poster outside Old Trafford of that face that Sir Alex Ferguson made in the stands.
after Liverpool.
Just just the exasperated like exhale.
Oh, I have to
Yeah.
find that. I have to find that.
It's so. I'm telling you,
I
man.
have to end. I have to show that.
If he pulls it out of his ass again, bro, Ole, oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh, here he is. I found it. Okay, well, give me your while I'm getting this image. Give me your prediction. What do you think about who's gonna win this match?
I actually think.
Here he is.
Okay, I think it's gonna be. Yeah, dude, I would hang.
Oh, I lost him.
What's up, dude?
Give me your video back, bro. All right,
I'm back.
I got you back. I'll cut that out. It's all good. You're good.
If you ever if you ever tried Discord on Linux, bro, you'll know that for no reason it was closed and you have to open it again.
LOL, bro.
But yeah,
In any case,
I actually think Man City will win the game. Now, I'm hoping they do. I'm praying they do, in fact, because otherwise there's no common sense left at all in the sport. So I think Man City will probably win 3-1.
okay. I'm going with the 2-all draw there.
United just
Brentford.
have no shape.
No
Sorry,
shape.
yeah.
You're right. No, absolutely. You're right. Well, and that's why I guess I mentioned they tried a new shape, and it did prove, somewhat effective against, albeit a very trash Spurs side. Brentford v Norwich at Brentford Community Stadium. I think it's going to be a thumping 3-0 Brentford. Easy peasy. Ivan
Easy.
Toney on the scoreboard. What do you
Norwich,
think?
I think. I mean,
They they won't
any
score.
game that they are in, they're gonna lose. Norwich. Let's be real.
Absolutely. Chelsea. Well, you have a prediction. You have a scoreline. What do you think?
For Brentford Norwich,
Brentford Norwich, bro. Give me a scoreline.
I'm gonna say 2-0.
2-0. All right. Chelsea Burnley. I think easily another thumping here. Maybe they might
Thumping.
concede one. Yeah, bro. I think 3-1 or 4-1.
I'm gonna say 4-0.
4-0 Chelsea. Yeah.
Currently, I think
Yeah.
don't have a chance of scoring, but their Chelsea's backline is too good.
That's true. They've got a very strong defense, but you never know. Maybe a freak goal here and there. I'll give it the 4-1. I think. Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace versus Wolves. I think Vieira takes the momentum. I think they get a
I think
victory
easily. I
here.
think
2-1.
Wolves in the season have been bad. Yeah, exactly 2-1.
Yeah, they've been poor overall, but yeah, absolutely. Crystal Palace have shown resilience. They played well against Arsenal, and Patrick Vieira has them playing good football. Zaha back in the side. In any case, yes, 2-1.
Well, if I'm a Wolves player, right, and I'm walking out into the stadium, I look to my right, I see this monster of a man, Patrick Vieira, standing at like 6'4". I don't know if you ever seen his head. His head is like a perfect semicircle above. It's perfectly round and large, but I'd be so scared of him.
Yeah, he's a
for
frightening
good
character. But he's also a frightening character. He used to be a frightening character on the pitch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Brighton versus Newcastle. I think it's at the Amex. It's got to be a Brighton victory. I mean, Newcastle are going to struggle to get some points on the board. This is a fixture normally without Brighton's amazing form this season that they expect to try to put a fist in, but I think it's going to be a Brighton win, maybe 3-0.
I love the expression. Put a fist in. Is that what you said? Put a
Yeah,
fist in.
yeah. Make a fist of it. Make a fist of it.
Okay. But you said no, because you said put a fist in.
Oh my god.
I was like,
Put a
what?
performance in. You know what I mean.
I
In any
think you
case,
meant a
make a
shift.
fist. Put a shift in. Exactly. But make a fist of it as
Put a
well.
fist in.
Also works.
I mean, in all fairness, I think they will put a fist in and win like 2-0.
Fantastic.
I think you
Brighton.
were right. Originally.
Absolutely. Okay, now we see Watford will come down
4-0.
to the Emirates.
4-0.
4-0. Okay, who are your
Okay,
scorers?
no. I'm gonna
Arsenal, man.
I'm gonna call 4-1.
4-1. Okay.
Actually, let me check where Watford are on the table again. I totally forgot.
I have you, bro. I got you now. Watford in the table. They are sitting 16th in the table. Pretty terrible form. Their last win was against Everton, who can't seem to get a win. We didn't really talk about them, but
Well, actually,
Rafa.
they beat Everton 5-2. That's but then again, Everton are kind of shit.
They really are. They
And they
really
drew
can't.
against Newcastle, who are shit.
Absolutely.
They lost against Spurs, who are shit.
Yeah, they certainly.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say 4-1.
4-1 to Arsenal. I'm gonna say 3-0.
Actually,
3-0
yeah,
to the
actually,
Arsenal.
yeah. I'm gonna downgrade. I don't think it'll be 4 goals. I think Arsenal cannot score that many goals. In
I
a
don't
game.
think so. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I
But
think
I
you're
think
right. I think
Watford will be porous, and I think the Emirates will be
Yeah.
rocking. I think for sure after
Well, it's
the
a home
recent
game, right?
form. It's a home game at the Emirates.
Woo! Yes, bro. That's what I want to see.
Then we have Everton Spurs at Goodison. I think Everton are going to find their way back to winning ways, to be honest.
I actually think they won't. I think Spurs, because like even if you don't like the guy as a player in Spurs, I think you see the manager fired. I think that lights sort of a fire under you. Like you feel someone like, oh shit, like
Someone's coming in, and Conte. They know that Conte's coming in.
someone coming in, and also like you do feel, I think, some level of guilt as a player. Like, oh, maybe it's us who let him down. I mean, like he's a good manager, right? So like you feel the wind of change, right? Even if it's not
You're right.
Conte yet,
Could be.
I think that change as well will inspire new.
So what do you think? What will the score be?
I think the score will be. I think Spurs will win 1-0.
All right, 1-0 Spurs. I'm gonna go 2-1 Everton. Rafa. Leicester Leeds at Ellen Road, Leicester struggled against Arsenal a bit. I don't think Leeds quite have the same quality, but Leeds will play on the front foot, especially at home. I think it might be a pretty good match to watch. A little bit of end-to-end stuff we
I
might
think
see.
so too. Yeah.
Maybe 3-2 Leeds. Maybe an exciting one. I'll go
3-2
for
Leeds. Okay,
3-2
so I
Leeds.
think I think it's that same scoreline except flipped. I think Leicester are gonna win
Wow. Okay then.
because I'll say why, because that's second half against Arsenal. Leicester were on it, right? Like they
Yeah,
changed shape, they changed
it's
players,
true.
and they were on it. And so I think like if
Mm.
they can't have that happen again against Leeds, except if they can start well against Leeds, I think Leicester are gonna win.
That'd be different. Yeah, that would be interesting to. I'm certainly looking forward to that one. And then right after that will be, looks like the final game of the Sunday. My boys, Liverpool, making their way down to West Ham, who I mentioned. The only match I've ever seen at Anfield was West Ham versus Liverpool. This flipped fixture. But what do you think here? West Ham with some good momentum. Declan Rice, we just spoke about. They just won 4-1 against Villa. Liverpool, I think, still are too strong for most clubs. We've got Salah in good form. I guess a couple of injuries in the midfield with Keita, who really provided the energy. I guess that
Mhm.
in the midfield that was really lacking in the second half against Brighton. Ox hasn't really been brought up to speed in that position. But
And to be, and to
what do
be
you?
and to be honest, I'm happy he hasn't because I was so sad when Oxlade left Arsenal, but I'm
Mm.
glad he hasn't really gotten that much better.
Yeah, I feel for him. To be honest with Ox, I think this might be one of his last seasons for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But yeah, my head says we might be held to a draw in this game because of how well West Ham have been playing. But my heart says we'll end up winning 3-1. I think
Look, I
Salah,
have this weird
Mane.
feeling internally, and I don't know why. I have a feeling that during this game, one of the important Liverpool players
Mm,
will get injured and be out for like several months.
interesting. What do you think?
I have a feeling it's going to be somebody on your defense or one of your fullbacks. It's going to happen,
Okay,
and that
you heard
and
it here
that
first,
injury will
folks.
that injury will inspire West Ham to win.
Okay, you heard it here,
Because look,
folks.
after Liverpool tied with Brighton, I think West Ham have a serious chance.
I agree. I certainly agree. I think especially after their strong performance this weekend, and the shape that they have, the energy that they have in the midfield, they'll pose a threat. But Liverpool, their away record. I don't know if you've seen that graphic. I mean, other than Preston, every single away game this season in all competitions was at least 3 or more goals. I mean, we are a different beast away from home. So
I'm sure everyone said that stuff against Brighton as well.
that was at home. That was at Anfield.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think your home form is even better, but
It's not, but I'm okay. In any case, if we see that injury, you'll be the one who
I
gets
think
cursed.
someone's gonna get their leg broken.
Oh my God,
Then Liverpool
bad
fans are gonna
omens. Red card
Liverpool
for you,
fans are
Surya. Red
or
card.
Liverpool fans are gonna
Send him off. Send this
are
kid
gonna
off, bro.
Liverpool fans are gonna send the player who caused it. You know, uh, they're gonna curse him out on Instagram. They're gonna send his
Sure,
family.
sure.
They're gonna very, let's say, you know,
Surya.
out of taste mail that's not in good taste. And
Surya,
then the ref will not give that player a red card. It'll be only a yellow. He'll be down a starter.
I
He'll be
am
out for several
disappointed.
months, and West Ham are gonna win,
Surya, you get a red card for this prediction.
bro.
I'm sending you off. You are the very first red card of the week for predicting an injury. That's
Bro,
that's it
if
for you.
if this injury happens, bro, I am doing the next podcast on my own. I'm gonna replace your image there on the left. I'm gonna swap it out with the image of a clown, and then I'm gonna talk for the whole time. That's what I'm gonna do.
How about this, bro? I'll give you. This is perfect. Halloween just happened, so there's gonna be clearances in the Halloween stores. If that injury happens and what you say happens and West Ham wins, I will come here
Yeah.
with a clown nose.
Yes.
I will do the podcast next week with a clown nose, episode 2.
Bro, you know,
Deal.
I know someone here, a student here, who is professionally on the side, also a clown.
Interesting. Well, in any case, you know who the real clown is. His name is Ole, the not bald fraud. In any
Hey!
case, thank you all for listening and bearing with us, if you're even out there. And we'll come back again next week with a Red Card podcast. We're out.
Peace out. Oh, and an injury. Peace out.